Alrighty, ladies and gents, it is now time to make your ad. You got your script ready, you know exactly what type of clips you want to find, and now we got to go out and do the research. So in this video, I actually already have a YouTube video that covers exactly my process. And again, sue me because my YouTube channel's too baller, but you're going to learn exactly how I find high quality clips, how I edit them together, and make at least 5 to 10 amazing creatives for whatever product that I test. So let's get into it. Today, I'm going to be creating winning TikTok ads live for you so you can see how to take clips from the internet and turn them into eye-catching winning creatives for any product that you sell. And we're going to be creating ads for this product right here, the Heating Eye Massager, an absolute classic, a baddie if I say so myself. And the first step to really doing any ad is doing the proper research and finding the best clips, especially if you don't have a UGC team in place, because I would say 90% of the battle of creating winning ads is finding the right clips. So I'd say 80% of your time as an editor is researching clips, looking up the major keywords on TikTok, on YouTube, Alibaba, AliExpress. There's so many different places you can source clips, but the best place is always going to be TikTok because the videos on TikTok are native to the platform. And when you're creating TikTok ads, you don't want them to feel like ads. And I know that has been repeated a million times, but the real best way of doing that is you find great UGC clips, people talking about your product, using your product, showing great demonstration clips. The best clips are always people talking and demonstrating how to use the product. Those are the golden nuggets. And if we look at this video right here, we got some good B-roll shots. Now, I would say these shots are kind of extraneous. These are the shots I tend to avoid unless it demonstrates how to use the product. So just having a product in your hand, very basic shot, I would not include that into your ads. But if we go into the rest of this, she's pressing the button and you can see the massager actually in action. It's massaging and then she has it on her face because yeah, you can't actually show the massaging properties of this product if it's on your face, but you can do it there, which is a great demonstration clip. And you're gonna have to scroll down a bit to find the exact product that you are selling because there's gonna be instances where when you look up these generic keywords, there will be other products, there will be products that look like yours, but honestly aren't the exact same. So the major keys here is we're looking for a keypad on the eye of the massager. Okay, so right here, I see that keypad. We got a person wearing the product, saying some good lines. Now I'm gonna keep everything on mute because of copyright. Your boys gotta make that dollar. Child support ain't cheap, I gotta say so myself. But basically what we would do is we would take the best clips that we're finding on TikTok, and the best clips are always going to be people talking. It feels very natural, feels very authentic, and you're going to grab these best clips and then repurpose them into an ad creative. But once you identify some TikTok videos you like, you're just going to grab the link. You'll go to SnapTik just like this, and you can easily download them without the watermark by posting the link right here, clicking download, and you're good to go. But like I said, the majority of your time is going to be going into researching clips, and TikTok's not the only place where you can do research. You can go onto YouTube and you can see plenty of videos like this one right here. This person's got the exact eye massager I'm looking for, and I'm sure she would have plenty of good talking points about the product. In fact, let's see if she has anything that we can use.
I do think my headache has lessened, which
that is a good line right there. That is a major benefit of a talking point that I'm sure is going to be mentioned over and over again. And the great part about doing research on multiple platforms is you get to see why did people buy this product. And when you're writing ad scripts and trying to create winning ad creatives, you need to understand your audience inside and out, especially if you are not in that target audience. I don't suffer from headaches or sleep problems or anything like that, even though I sleep at 4 in the morning from all the hard work and grinding. But in order to understand my audience, you need to watch videos on TikTok, on YouTube. You need to read reviews on Amazon. You have to be trying to get information from a bunch of different resources to see what are the commonalities, what are the major benefits, objections, problems, and reasons as to why people would buy your product. And the only way you can do that is by doing the research, and you can't cheat that process, because if you do, your marketing's going to suck, your ads are going to suck, your clips are going to be all over, and you're going to talk about benefits in your ads that just simply don't matter. Now, another place where you can get great clips is on PP ads. You just look up the major keyword, which I did right here, eye massager, scroll on down, and you see what clips you can find, and it's super easy to download as well. So we see this guy talking about the product. I'm sure we will download this, maybe remove the text, but this is a really good UGC authentic TikTok style video. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have our hook secured for this ad. Not gonna lie.
Okay, this is one of my favorite purchases of the entire year. It's an eye massager that's...
Oof, that is a great hook right there. Unfortunately, this product does not have the same features and design as our current eye massager. You can actually tell it has a little music and then a power button. But if you're wondering how to download any clips that you do find on PP ads that are usable, what do you do? Go to the TikTok URL, super duper simple. And then once it loads, you would go through the exact same process of copying that TikTok URL and then pasting it into SnapTik. And it's just amazing how many different clips and unique angles you can find when you are doing the proper research. So this viral eye massager feels insane. We got some good clips, person talking about their experience. And then when we go back to TikTok, there were so many videos of people reviewing it. So what I'm going to most likely do is I'm going to take the time of finding at least 10 to 20 unique clips that I can stitch together into my different ad creatives. And I like to make at least 5 ad creatives for every single product I test initially, which is why we're going to need 10 to 20 different clips that are longer form, that are around 30 seconds plus. And in these videos, what are the major things I'm looking for? I'm looking for good clips showing the product in use. I'm looking for people talking that are authentic, that are sharing their experience, that are talking about benefits of the product. I'm really trying to avoid clips that feel very stock clippy, that feel very Chinese, the supplier. You know, those type of videos where it just feels so inauthentic and it feels very Facebooky. And just to show you an example of what I mean by that, when I went to the Alibaba and looked at this product, here is the first video that I saw. Oh my God, I'm gonna fall asleep. This is absolutely, oh my God, there's a guy singing, but you can see super generic, very boring. And a better example would be this right here. This woman who's talking directly to her camera. It feels natural, feels authentic. It's not too professional. Also, that's a key thing with clips. It should feel like people are filming on their phones because that's what most people do on TikTok, and that's what's authentic. So let's just look at a few seconds of this.
I used to be someone who struggled sleeping at night and staying asleep, especially because of my anxiety, but ever since finding the Renpho eye massager.
Ooh, dang, that is a good line. Super authentic, super natural. That's the type of clips you want in your ad. So once you find multiple clips for your dropshipping product, the next step is figuring out the different frameworks that you can do to showcase your product in the best possible light with your ads. And if you're selling a non-problem solving product, clothing, chains, whatever it is, you're typically just going to try to have multiple clips in a collage type of format of different shots that make the product look cool. So on different models and different backgrounds, etc., etc. And then with a problem solving product, there is going to be a little bit more nuance to it because you typically need a hook, and then you need to talk about the problem, and then you need to talk about the product solving the problem, and then you got to get into some benefits and a call to action. So here are the main frameworks that I use for problem solving products. I do problem, finding the product, 2 benefits, transformation. So now my life is completely changed forever. My TikTok hook, 3 benefits, call to action. And these frameworks are all different so that I can have different angles and different looks to sell my product, because one of these formats might work a lot better than another when it comes to selling that specific product. And some are longer and some are shorter. And this is all strategic because you really don't know what's going to sell your product the best until you have different frameworks, until you try it in different angles to see what resonates the most with your audience. So personally, if I'm going into the problem with this product, which is an eye massager, it helps you with your sleep, I would say the problem is, are you tired of being tired? And then finding the product would be, well, with this eye massager, you can relieve stress, you can help yourself sleep in minutes, whatever it is. And when you are writing text benefits, it's really important, especially with TikTok, you keep it to 6 to 8 words max. It should be 4 words on a line. So if you do write 8 words, it should be 2 lines, 4 words on each one of them, because when you have too much text, it really just distracts the whole feel from the video, distracts your viewer from watching the demonstration clips. So you want to keep it as short and concise as possible while telling them what the benefit is. Now, if you're creating custom content for a dropshipping product you're selling, what I would really recommend doing is sending over a brief to your influencer. So you send the product and then give them the major talking points. What are the major benefits about your product that make it unique from all the other options out there? So for me, I keep it incredibly simple. I like briefs that are short, simple, and take a minute to do. So I will tell my influencer, hey, I need 5 videos, I need 3 photos. Here are the different angles you need to take. So do 2 ads that are how to use the product, 2 that are demonstration ads, and 1 that's more controversial. It's got a unique hook to it that most people don't associate with that type of product. And then I let them know what are the major benefits. Typically, you want to do at least 5 and then max around 10 so that you don't overwhelm. And then give them some to-dos and not to-dos when they're filming content. So add text overlays, do quick clips that are 2 to 4 seconds, have trending music, use unique hooks, always have great lighting. And a lot of the not to do's is don't have clips that are too long, don't have text benefits that are too many words, etc., etc. But you really have to train them, and in a lot of cases film an SOP videos to really get exactly what you want, because at the end of the day, content creators are content creators. They are not marketers. They don't know exactly what you want. So the more inspiration, the more information you can give them, the better the product's going to be. Now, hold on, cowboy. Now that you got your ad script and your clips, you need one more vital thing, and that's to be inspired. Because in order to create a winning ad creative, you need to know what a winning ad creative looks like. And I would say the best places to study winning ads is right now on PP Ads. PP Ads is a whole TikTok ad platform that has a host of different TikTok ads from big e-commerce brands, dropshipping brands, all of the sort. So basically, you can create collections of all the best ads that you see, and you can find these different takeaways and these different nuances from studying all these ads from the different frameworks that they use to sell their products. So hook, problem, demo, benefits, call to action. You can can see how do they organize their text, how do they do captions, how do they do their cuts, how do they make the product stand out. There's so many things you can learn by studying the best ad creatives, and I really do believe there's no way in hell you can make a winning ad creative without doing the proper studying. So for my team, we've created collections called dropshipping that they have to study in order to understand what a good ad looks like. And you can also do ad research on the TikTok Creative Center. You can see United States, e-commerce, conversions to find winning ads to get that inspiration for your brand. So let's take a look at one of those ads right now. We got this person right here talking about, I believe, Lizzo's clothing brand.
I really feel like I'm living in a fever dream right now because
Okay, that was a little bit boring of a hook. I mean, she didn't talk, but I like the way that they do the captions. So they have auto captions turned on, and it's a little white text, nice little gray background. It's slightly transparent, but I really like that. And I would say that's something you can take away if you're doing auto captions on your videos. So again, there's so many little things like that that you don't really notice, but can make a difference with your ad performance. So again, you have to be studying the big boys constantly to be learning what is working right now, because what was working 6 months ago is not working today in ads. And especially with platforms like TikTok and Facebook, I would say 95% of your success comes down to creative. It does not matter what ad strategy you are doing. It will not help a bad ad creative, but a winning ad creative will always elevate a crappy, basic ad strategy. And that's why it's insanely important to be testing 5, 10, 15 ad creatives when you are testing a product in TikTok, rather than trying 5, 10, 15 different ad strategies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Get those leashes off. We need to start editing. This is the really boring, monotonous part of it all. I will admit it's not very sexy, but you really do need to understand how to do this if you want to be a successful dropshipper, especially if you're a one-man or one-woman team. I do not discriminate. So personally, when it comes to video editors, I actually use CapCut. It is completely free to download on desktop, on your phone as well, and there's different nuances between the different platforms. And you're probably asking, why would you use CapCut when there's Adobe Premiere, there's all these other things? But when you're doing TikTok ad creatives, the whole purpose of it is to try to make it look natural and native to TikTok. And CapCut is owned by the same company, and it has a lot of those elements from the TikTok editor that are also on CapCut, and that's not a feature that you'll see on any of these Adobe Premieres or bigger time editor tools. And what I mean is they have a library of audios that are going viral on TikTok right now that are non-copyright versus copyrighted. They have text effects that are only available on TikTok and CapCut as well. Like real quick, I just added this text, and you can add the basic white with black outline. You can do all of these text effects, which really are very hard to replicate in most editing tools, but they just come built into CapCut, which makes it such a huge advantage. And obviously they have animations, and they also have the exact text-to-speech people.
Default text.
I like to see your editing tool do that. Now, the most important part of editing a TikTok ad creative is cutting out the dead weight, the filler, the fluff. And I would say the best test to understand if a line that an influencer says is fluff is the WIFM test. What's in it for me? If you hear the line they say and it doesn't automatically pertain to your audience or make you think, wow, that's an interesting benefit that I will definitely consider when I buy this product, you should cut it out.
Something came in the mail today. I am super excited.
So for instance, in this clip, this influencer says, this came in the mail, I'm super excited. What's in it for me there? Absolutely nothing. I could care less that something came into the mail for her. But when she says a line like, this eye massager has helped me sleep in seconds, that pertains to me. I'm like, oh my God, wait, can that also do the same result for me as well? So those are the type of clips that you're looking for. You want to get rid of all of the basic kind of filler lines that, oh, it's super easy to use as well, because there's going to be some benefits that, yes, I'm sure that it can be perceived as a benefit like, wow, it's easy to use, or it's ergonomical, but those are just buzzwords. Nobody cares. You just keep in the lines that really talk about the major benefits. So let's actually get into editing this live. I'll try to make it entertaining for the sake of my YouTube retention. All right, so we're going to cut right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on split. We're going to get rid of that first section because that's just not going to be necessary. When I'm doing my editing with my ads, I usually have a bunch of different clips and they're all going to be benefit, benefit, benefit. So let's see right here if this next line's a benefit.
So this is an eye massager, but it has like crazy cool benefits.
That's a decent line. It's also a bit of filler, if I'm being honest. I could see it as a hook, because that will get your attention. You're like, okay, what are the benefits? So yeah, I would say for your hook, you can get away with a line like that. But in most cases, if it's going to be in the middle of your ad, no, that's not going to work.
I'm always looking at the screen, so this has been so nice to have.
I'm always looking at the screen, so that's nice to have. Kind of weak.
And it just reduces stress overall and headaches and wireless Bluetooth.
Okay, I would say the wireless Bluetooth part I don't really care about, but the part where she says it reduces stress and eliminates headaches, That's a good line. That is a Whiffum line 100%. What's in it for me? It reduces your stress and eliminates headaches. I'm keeping that. Overall, you're usually going to get about 3 to 5 clips from every clip that you actually add. So we have 12 clips here. We're going to make 3 clips from each one of them. So you're going to have a lot of clips you can play around with to make a ton of different ads, because the only difference between an ad creative you really need is changing up the hook or changing up the music. So you could see just from having 12 clips, you can make 30, 40, 50 unique ads.
So this is an eye massager, but it has like crazy cool benefits, and it just reduces stress overall and headaches. So right now it's literally massaging my eyes. It has relaxing music playing, and ooh, it's like massaging over here in the corners.
So let me edit another clip for you so you can really get the feel of things. Let's see here.
This device right here is the solution to dry eyes, dark circles, and eye strain.
Woof, that is a great hook right there. That might end up being the hook that we actually use. I mean, that is getting right into the benefits, the meat and potatoes. This is what solves that problem. I like that. That's 100% going to be one of the hooks I test.
Warm heat alleviates dry eyes by stimulating the tear ducts.
It kind of sounded like a benefit. I mean, it was a benefit, but it felt flat to me. I don't know why. I think his voiceover felt a little just weird. So I think I wouldn't really use that line.
This has completely changed my life. I spend a lot of time in front of the computer working, so this really helps me out a lot.
That is a pretty decent line, because he says that he spends a lot of time on the computer, and I can guarantee people that are on the computer a lot are searching for products like this. So I would definitely keep that in. I think that's something that I would recommend using. Does it really say a Whiffum benefit? Not necessarily. It helps, but he didn't really get into the benefit. It's a very hard medium, but I would say err on the side of keeping clips rather than deleting.
Every time I use it, it's refreshing and it improves my sleep quality.
That's a good line. That's a straight up benefit, so we would keep that in.
It even comes equipped with Bluetooth connectivity for increased enjoyment.
Bluetooth connectivity for your enjoyment. Ugh, yeah, that's kind of boring for me. We're going to take that out.
My favorite part is that you can choose in between a few different heating settings, and you can listen to your favorite music while you use it.
That's a pretty good benefit. So you know, okay, I can customize the different heat settings. So if it gets too hot, I can customize it. I can also listen to music while this is happening. There's a lot of unique benefits that really make this enticing. So 100% keep that clip in.
Order now with free shipping. I highly recommend this product.
I typically don't do many call to actions of people talking in the call to action. I like to usually just do text, and then it's just a random demonstration clip. But it's not the worst thing to try around. I could definitely see this working and outperforming a typical text benefit as a call to action. So I would say we can keep that in as well. Now, a quick Dobbins pro tip. When you are downloading clips from TikTok and somebody is talking in the clip, which is great, those are the clips you want to find, make sure there is no background music, because if you download a clip that has a person talking and background music, that means when you put that clip into your ad, you're most likely going to have 3 different audio tracks. And really, in an ad, what you should have is a bunch of people talking without any background music, so that you can put your own background music to that ad, which you're most likely going to do. But if the clip you downloaded already has that background music, it's going to compete with the music you chose for that ad, and it's going to seem incredibly unprofessional. And I'll show you a quick example of what that looks like. So with this
thing is crazy, but 10 out of 10.
It's a person talking, and you can hear that background music. So I wouldn't recommend downloading a clip like this, but clips you can download that have background music would be ones like this one, where nobody's talking. You're just showing out the product. It's in someone's hand. It might be somebody's wearing it and they have background music. And the reason why you can still use those clips is because all you have to do is just mute the clip, then put your music on top of it so that it feels natural. So I was able to get the golden nuggets from all of my clips, but I really want to show this ad right here. It's 55 seconds long, and I believe you will find clips that are so good that you don't need to use clips from other ads or from other videos. You can just have the same model, and typically that works the best because it feels the most natural to TikTok. Because when you look at TikTok videos, it's usually one person talking about their experience reviewing a product. So if you can find those really solid clips of somebody who mentions all the talking points that you need, you don't need to have another model or have a compilation from somebody else. In fact, this is a golden standard clip that if you can find this for your product, it makes your job so much easier. So let's go through it.
I don't know about you, but I struggle so much with tired, overworked eyes between filming under these bright lights all of the time, editing on a computer all the time.
I mean, this is amazing because she already has a great hook. So I don't know if you've had trouble with eye strain, blah, 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 but it's always been a big problem for me. And then she gets into how it was a problem. And in a lot of my scripts, I do hook, problem, then show the product solving that problem. So she's already done the work for me. So when I have a clip like this, I'm usually just going to edit it down and make sure it follows my framework. And then boom, that's an ad right there just from one model, which is amazing. So let's actually get into editing this. The hook is really important. We want to make sure this is short, simple, to the point. So let's see if there's any filler that we can remove.
I don't know about you, but I struggle so much.
Okay, so I don't know about you. That would be the filler. We can definitely get rid of that. But when she said, I struggle with blank, that should be the start. So let's get into it. So that's now removed. So let's get into it.
I struggle so much with tired, overworked eyes.
That could be the hook right there. That is short, simple, to the point. I struggle with eye pain. Boom.
Between filming under these bright lights all of the time, editing on a computer all the time, my eyes stay very irritated.
I mean, she's just nailed it. That's exactly what we do. We got the hook. She talks about the problem. I will admit it was a little bit longer, but in this instance, I'm fine with that. I know in most cases you want your clips to be 2 to 4 seconds. That's a great guideline. But sometimes with guidelines, they're meant to be broken. So if it works, and let's say in this instance, so she talks for 3:17 to 3:25. That's 8 seconds. She mentions a lot of great problems, so I would keep that in. Because you could try to get this to 4 seconds. I do believe it's possible, but I think you would disrupt the flow and it would feel very over-edited and not natural. So let me see if there's any way we can actually edit this. I honestly probably wouldn't touch it, but let's see. So I would say the only way we can make that happen is if we cut right here and we just do from editing all the time, my eyes are constantly sore, so that's the major problem. It might work. So let's see if this flows here.
Overworked eyes, editing on a computer all the time, my eyes stay very irritated.
It might work. It might be something you want to play around with. Now, we want to make sure with each clip, we get rid of that background space. We don't want to have any dead space in our ads, and especially at the end of clips. That's when I notice the most dead space, when it doesn't really flow. So let's see how this flows at the end here.
Stay very irritated.
Okay, cool. So I think that does flow very well. We get right into the next clip, and notice this. When I zoom in, the audio tracks start immediately when the clip is introduced. I don't wait a second. I don't wait 0.5 seconds because you're going to lose people immediately. So when you're doing those cuts, make sure you cut fast. Right when the person stops talking, boom, we need a next clip. Get right into it. It's got to be quick, fast cuts, because that's just how the TikTok style is. Now, when I was editing this clip, there was one weird clip that I think can really help you with your editing as a great lesson. And it was right here when she said, "This baby really helps me." But the problem with this is when she said "this baby," look at the actual clip, look at the video. You see how, okay, she's holding it and then it cuts very abruptly, but the audio track starts here. So I don't really like how, okay, we have 0.1, 0.2 seconds of that, and then it cuts here. So I would personally, for the sake of keeping everything congruent, I would start the clip right here because that's natural, showing it off. It feels good, but that harsh cut of 0.1 seconds and then bleh, it doesn't look good. So in order to make this actually work, what I would recommend doing is you separate the audio track from the video, which in CapCut is super simple. You just click separate audio like this, and then boom, you got your separated audio. And what I would recommend doing now is we're going to go to this. We're going to drag it until there. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to have our audio track also lined up with that. So we're just going to move it slightly over. And let's see how this sounds.
Tired eyes. This baby has 5 massage modes.
Yep, I think that lines up perfectly fine. And again, that's just a great way of doing your editing to make sure, okay, in some instances, the person filming did not really line the audio with the clip. So sometimes you have to do that yourself by separating the audio. So again, though, I thought it was a really solid ad. She nailed it. She talked about benefits. She talked about call to actions that everyone needs this. So let me actually get into the rest of this because I was super impressed.
Also has built-in heating pads to help relieve dry eyes. For me, this really helps to relieve the headaches and eye fatigue that I get from the work that I do looking at screens all day. It's a great way to give yourself some self-care.
I mean, that's a good call to action at the end. It's a great way to give yourself some self-care. So I would say that as an ad alone, 100% can work. It was a great hook, talked about the problem, talked about benefits, demonstrated the product. It fits everything that you need in a good ad. Now, obviously, the most important part of your TikTok ad creative is the hook. It is the opportunity. What is the biggest problem that you're solving with this product? What is the biggest opportunity or the biggest claim I can make about how this product solves that problem? So is it, oh, you can lose 20 pounds in a certain amount of time? Is that going to catch people's attention? Or is it, hey, are you tired of being tired? Maybe that can be the hook. There's so many different ways you can approach it. And this is the area where you have to split test the most. You have to try, okay, let me do a problem as the hook, or let me try this huge bold claim, or let me try this huge benefit that I've seen so many people talk about as to why they bought the product. And this clip should be around 2 to 4 seconds max when you're doing it. So you really have to simplify that big claim or that big problem in as few words as possible. And when you're choosing a clip for your hook, I would either recommend having someone talk, so they're talking and actually saying an actual hook, so this product changed my life, something along those lines. Or if you're struggling with this problem, then stop scrolling right now. So if the actual clip that you found online or the influencer that you're working with said a good hook, that can definitely be used by itself without even showing the product. But in most cases, if you don't have a good clip like that, you want to show a demonstration clip of your product in use, or a dramatic reaction, like someone puts on the product and they're going, ah, oh my god, I'm gonna nut right now, this is such an amazing massage. So let's go over some of the great hooks I was able to find after editing all these clips.
If you get migraines and eye strain, don't you dare scroll away.
This device right here is the solution to dry eyes, dark circles, and eye strain.
I struggle so much with tired, overworked eyes.
I mean, right there, those are 3 great hooks that we can play around, split test, and see which one works and performs the best. So once you write your script, it's really vital that when you do all the editing with your clips, you find the clip that best represents that text. So for this right here, do your eyes feel dry, watery, and tired? This works perfectly with the hook right here of this woman saying, hey, my eyes are always strained, they're always watery. This is a perfect clip that matches. So let's add our text real quick, and we want to make sure this text is the whole duration of the clip example. So we're going to put this right here. And when you're playing around with text, if you put it too high, the TikTok overlay is going to get involved. So you don't want it to be overlapping. And if you put it too low, it's the same case. If you put it too much to the right, the like, the comment, the share buttons will get in the way. So you want to put it generally in this area right here. I would say max right around this height. Now, when it comes to fonts, the best font you want to use is typically the system font. This is the most native to TikTok. But if you're wondering what is the exact font type, if you are editing on a different software, it is called Proxima Nova Bold. That is the exact font you want to download. You can go from fontfree.com, you download it. It's super easy to add to any editing tool. And if you're on your phone as well, let me show you how you can do it. So right now I'm on fontsfree.com. We got the Proxima Nova Bold. So we click the download button right there. And once you're good to go, go into CapCut, go into the text icon right here. We would go to add text. You know, you enter whatever text you want, and then you go over to the font key, you go to the plus icon, and that's where you would add the font that you download. So I did from Fonts Free, click on that, and it'll say the font already exists. So you have your little section right here from English to import font that will show the Proxima Nova Bold. And I would say the other font you can use, and this is easily downloadable onto both things, is Kaufman Bold Script, also known as the handwriting one on TikTok. This is the very girly slay queen, boss queen, and it really does stand out. It is great for hooks. I would not, though, recommend it for any of the benefits. It's just solely for hooks because it kind of is a little bit hard to read. So let's edit these lines in CapCut to make sure that they are native to TikTok, because that is the whole point of the text. Make it feel native and that it's not like an ad. So for me, I would always use the white with black outline. I would say the only other ones you can really use that would work is this pink and this blue. I wouldn't really recommend using them too often, though. In most cases, you are always going to do white with black outline. Now, on the desktop version, they automatically default to a 40 thickness. I would say the thickness you want to do is about 18 to 20. I would say that is thick enough with 4 C's. And believe me, I have done the eyeball test. This is the right amount of thickness that is native to TikTok. So you want to do that. Let's make this nice and tiny. I would say the spacing of the lines is also a bit off. So when you have 2 lines, I would just lower that. And I would say where it feels natural to me is around -5, -3-ish. I would say -5 feels the best for me. So let's cover what to do with your text, because there's so many different ways you can customize it with animations, text-to-speech, outlines. There's so many things that it can lead to a lot of bad ads, and it also can lead to a lot of great ones. So I would say when you're doing your lines, a good rule of thumb is typically you want to have 4 words in each line. On this one, I have 5, but when it comes to size, if I move this dry down, we can see it's actually going to look really, really awkward, because now the bottom line is a little bit larger and longer. I typically like the first line, though, to be the larger one. So I think this one actually fits and flows a little better. Now let's talk about what animations you should do. I would only recommend doing an animation once or twice if you're really feeling spicy in the ad. Typically, you're going to do an animation on the text as the hook to make it stand out. So what I would recommend, I would say the different ones I like. So if you go to animation and then in, I would say the random letter one works pretty well. Flutter is another one that also definitely catches my attention. Another one, wobble, I feel like also can work for sure. Open's another pretty solid one. Faded right. And then I would would say the final one is type 2. So this one, Wipe and LR, I think is pretty solid. And then there was the concentrate one right here that also works in my eyes. Again, you have to play around and figure out which ones you feel like works the best for you, because what I like, you might not like as well. And then when it comes to sizing, this is a very interesting debate. I would say around here is a solid size. It's not too big, not too small. This is also a good size. If you go like this, too small, I would say that's okay. But yeah, right around here, want to keep it big, keep it bold. Don't want it though to take up too much space. So if I go here to my text size, I have it at around 115 to 125% scale, and my font size is 15. So if you want to do the exact numbers, that's what you would do here. And placement wise, I usually like to avoid putting text on anyone's face. So I'll put it on top, yeah, near the hair. Now, another way you can customize your text for the hook is by using the text templates. Now, I would say a lot of these are pretty trash. They're very fugly, but there's two that I do like and I think can work only exclusively as hooks. So if you go here to text and then text templates, these are the two that I really like. It's the text one right here, which is an actual text, and you can put in your hook line here. So we could do, okay, are you tired of being tired? And that's another thing you'll notice when I'm doing the typing of my captions for my script. I like to capitalize the first letter of each word. I don't know why, it just really stands out to me. So if we were to do this text message, let's see how this looks with the full screen. Are you tired of being tired? I would say that is pretty decent, but I just want to make this so it fits within the square. So let's just drop that down real quick. Let's see how that looks. Are you tired of being tired? That looks so sick. And I would say if we could also get a nice little text message notification sound, that would really sell it. And I think that will get your attention. All right, so I added a little audio right here of a text message. Let's see how that sounds. I know this is gonna be incredibly irritating, but hey, it's in the sake of good ads. Nice. I think that is a solid hook. Are you tired of being tired? It catches you off guard too, which I also like, because you're like, this can't be an ad. I mean, they got a text message, they got the bell, and that's kind of the feeling you want. You want to kind of Trojan horse that, hey, maybe this is more of a TikTok video, but really it's an ad. And I would say the other text template that I like is this right here. It's more of a typewriter type of thing. So we can see right here, if I go back, it's going to say, I love you. It types it out, and I really like the animation. So I would say those are the only ones I would recommend just for the hook. All right, so let's add text to one of our benefit clips. Now, when it comes to the benefit clips, I don't recommend animations. I don't recommend doing anything crazy. I would just do white with black outline 95% of the time, unless you have made the decision to do a different style throughout the ad. And what I would recommend doing, if you are doing the blue one, let's say this one, I would stick with that throughout the video. Stick with one text style throughout the entire ad. So if in the first hook you have, okay, this white with black outline, stick with that for the rest of it. Keep it congruent. Don't do, all right, for my hook, I'll do the white with black outline, and then for my next benefit, I'm going to do pink, and then for the next one, I'm going to do orange, and just make an entire rainbow conglomerate mess of an ad that nobody is going to feel any trust of. Nobody really mixes in a ton of different styles. You want to keep it simple, keep it to one style. And I would say the only real exception to that is if you do white with black outline, and then you do the black text with a white background. That is the only time that actually works. And if you're wondering about doing the text with a canvas background behind it, I would say if you're using the desktop version of CapCut, they really don't have the option to customize it the way that TikTok likes to do the overlays, but there is a way of doing the exact same TikTok background of the overlay inside of the CapCut mobile app. So let's hop back onto our little phone. So we're now on the mobile version. Now, when it comes to editing text, let me just open my text. I got this right here of my name. And when we click on it, let's go down to style and then canvas. So when you're doing a text bubble, the background behind the text, the only real way to do it is typically going to be white text with a certain background. So we'll do, let's say, white text, and then we got this little red background. Now, if you're wondering about the exact settings you're going to need, let's scroll on down here. So with the corner radius, this is typically going to be around 35. I found 35 to have the exact right edge amount, because there is a bit of an edge difference on TikTok. Then when it comes to opacity, this is typically going to be around 75% or 100%. It's up to you to choose. So some people like to do around 75. So that's what 75 looks like. I'll actually make this larger so you can get a good grip here. So we just put our fingers together. So that's 75, that's 100. So typically people will do one or the other. When it comes to the height, this is typically going to be 100. That is the exact style that works on TikTok. And then when it comes to the width, you're typically going to do around 55. So 55, 100 height, corner radius 35. And then when you go to opacity, either 100% or around 75% to get that exact text effect. And I would say for backgrounds, when you're using a white font, the ones that you can use as a background is typically going to be a red, you can use a black, you can use a blue and orange. So let me see, we got the orange one, I think looks nice. A light blue typically also looks pretty good. So this one right here, I would say works. And then there's also a mint green that I do like. So you can do this type of green. I would say this definitely does stand out. But if you are going to do a black text, which on mobile, you go to text, you click on black, and then we would go to canvas. So when we go to canvas, let's say we add this. I would say the only thing you can do with black text is typically going to be the white background. A lot of people do that. So they got the black text, white background. Let's go down here. We're going to make sure all our settings are right because it does automatically reset. So we go height 100, we go width around 55. And yes, that is the one you will always see. So you can definitely do a mix of this one right here, which is the white text with a black outline, and then also the black text with a white background. Now, just because I'm a nitpicker, I really want to make sure you got this exactly right when it comes to the fonts and the styles. So let's actually edit this style real quick right here, because when you are doing the black overlay on white text on mobile, it is different than desktop. So we're going to really focus on that stroke game. So you go over to stroke right here, and instead of impregnating a woman, what you're going to do is do a stroke thickness of around 29. That is the exact eyeball same as TikTok in my eyes. I mean, geez Louise, that just looks so sexy. What can I say? Your boy, he's mastered his craft. Now, when it comes to the length of your TikTok ad, it's really important to understand that different lengths can work. It's not always just going to be, okay, keep it as short as possible, 9 to 15 seconds. Everyone is super ADHD and can't even focus for half a millisecond. They're like goldfish out there, which when you're doing your editing should definitely be the mindset. You want to have quick cuts. You want to make sure every clip serves a purpose, but I still think you can have a 30 to 35 second ad, which has a bunch of clips that all sell your product and all make sense. So you just need to be able to make it entertaining. And the only way you make things sound entertaining is by having the right text, by having quick cuts, by keeping the action always going, and making sure you have no fluff in your ads. And typically when you're selling a non-problem solving product, your ads are going to be shorter because there's not really benefits. You just want to show off typically 3 to 5 clips. It's more of a freestyle type of ad of the product in use. So different models using the product, different backgrounds of the product. You're not going to really focus on benefits or people talking about how amazing it is. It's just going to be make it look cool. In a lot of cases, you're going to do that by having those variety of clips. But for a problem solving product, those are typically going to be longer ads. They're going to be around 15 to 30 seconds. You've got to explain the product. You got to explain the problem. You got to explain the solution. There's a lot more explaining done, which is why these ads are typically going to be longer. But the big trap is don't make it 40 or 50 seconds because you don't need that much explanation. Just focus on the major 3 benefits, I would say, of the product. Because when you talk about 5, 6, 7 different benefits, it just goes over everyone's head. They're not going to remember all of that. So you want to keep it incredibly simple. Keep it to 1 to 3 major benefits as to why someone should buy your product. And the only way you can figure that out is by doing the research as to why people buy. And also just making sure that your clips aren't insanely long. So for a hook, again, the golden rule, 2 to 4 seconds. For your clips outside of your hook, typically you also want to make them 2 to 4 seconds, but in some cases they're going to be 6 seconds, 8 seconds. These are just frameworks. They are guidelines. You have to feel it out. And I would say for this 35-second ad right here, it definitely flows. Everything flows, but some of the clips are longer and some of them are shorter, and that's just how it's going to be in a lot of cases. Alrighty, so after some polishing, I believe we have made a solid ad here. And the final thing you're going to notice is the music choice. And when you're selecting music, it's really important that you encapsulate the mood of your product, because if you're selling a sleep product, you want music that's more lo-fi, that's more calm, it's more relaxing. And obviously if you're selling a hunting rifle, it's gonna be insane, it's gonna be action-packed, big bone type of music. So where I actually source non-copyrighted music is from Epidemic Sound. It costs around $15 a month, but I believe that's an absolute bargain because it has different moods and it has so many different tracks you can choose from to pick the perfect music for your ad. So I would go right into here. We got, again, all these different moods, so we can go straight into laid back. I feel like that's going to be absolutely perfect for our product. Go through these and see which one works the best. And when you're choosing music, it isn't always going to be the whole entire song that works. It might be only certain sections. So you have to know, if my ad is 20 seconds long, 30 seconds long, all right, is there 20 or 30 seconds in this music that works? So let's play this song real quick. And does it work? I feel like that's the right vibe I want. It's nice, it's relaxing, and you can also customize a bunch of different things. So they got all the different moods, genres. BPM is also super important. So if you want a more faster paced type of music and product, then yes, this is the music choices that you would go with. And if you want it to be a little slower, a little more calm, which I actually do want, I would definitely do around 70 to 100 BPM. And then obviously you can also pick music from CapCut itself because it has trending TikTok non-copyright audios like, of course, Lazy Sunday, absolute classic. So it's up to you to choose which method works better for you. I would recommend doing a combination of both to figure out the right sound. But let's look at the final product for this ad right here.
I struggle so much with tired, overworked eyes. Editing on a computer all the time, my eyes stay very irritated. This is exactly why I'm so excited that I found this product. It provides soothing eye stimulation for tired eyes. This baby has 5 massage modes.
Whoa, 5 massage modes? I wrote 6. Okay, and that's why you have to proofread your ad and watch it a few times before definitely publishing it. So yeah, we'll do that right quick. And again, a few things with the text. I like to customize the text placement. I don't want it to be in the same place all the time. So we started with it being in the top third, and then I like to move it down to the middle, and I like to kind of have it sporadically in different places so that the viewer doesn't get bored, and that's another way you can keep their attention. And again, with the line spacing, I would say you can do around -4, -5. Make sure that's for every single line, because when you're doing CapCut, the default's always going to be 0. But let's look at the rest of it. Just keep it simple.
This really helps to relieve the headaches and eye fatigue that I get from the work that I do looking at screens all day. It's a great way to give yourself some self-care.
27 seconds. I think that's super solid. Great clips, great text benefits. And if you notice, I had to adjust my text a lot because when I went back to my scripts, I noticed that in these scripts, they don't really align too much with the clips. So there's sometimes a balance you have to play. Where if you have a great ad like that one where it has amazing clips, all right, we might have to adjust our benefits. And as a video editor, you have to understand copywriting as well so that, okay, if my lines don't exactly correlate perfectly, what line and what benefit would work for this specific clip? And I went back here. If I look at this script, nap like a baby to your favorite songs, that was never mentioned. She never mentioned anything about really songs or anything. I think she might have slightly mentioned that as a benefit, so maybe we could have included that as a line. But I noticed she said something like 5 massage modes. So I was like, all right, with a product that has 5 massage modes, what's the benefit? What's in it for me? Well, that means you can fall to sleep faster. So fall to sleep faster with 5 massage modes. And she then talks about relieving headaches and eye fatigue. That's a great benefit. So that's the text I decided to use. So sometimes when you are figuring out your clips, you will have to adjust the script as well, and also vice versa. So I also want to talk about when you have a script that's set in place, how do we find the right clips? So right here, my first line in this script is stop scrolling if you suffer from eye strain. So if I'm trying to find a clip for that, I can do a variety of things. I could find a stock clip of someone rubbing their eyes and they're clearly suffering. They're very tired. Maybe they have red eyes. So you might find a stock clip of that, or you might find someone on TikTok that is literally saying stop scrolling if you suffer from eye strain. But I will admit, it can be very hard. It's like a needle in a haystack to find that exact clip that works. But thankfully, through the proper research, I was able to find a clip that does correlate with this. So let's listen in.
If you get migraines and eye strain, don't you dare scroll away.
Literally perfect. She says don't scroll away. The text says don't scroll away, and it says eye strain. So I got really lucky there, but that's just what happened when you do proper research. And then my next line is bring your eyes to life after hours of screens, screen time, etc. I wanted to shorten it down a little bit. Now, for that text, I would definitely need to find a clip of someone saying, hey, I spent hours on my computer, I spent hours in front of my phone, or if I can't find someone talking about that, then I will need to find a clip of someone literally looking at a screen, rubbing their eyes, being tired, if I can't find that exact text. And then we might have a narrator read out this line. But that's an important thing that I also want to cover with the narrator. I don't believe you should do a narrator for each line if you can't find any good UGC talking points. I think you should really only do the narrator for your hook, because I see that when you do every single line with the text-to-speech narrator, it's boring. People don't like it. They do scroll away. So I would only recommend using the narrator for the hook. And if you have other lines in here where you don't have a UGC creator talking, it's fine to have clips where it's just the text on screen and it's just the music. That is totally fine. If it's a good clip demonstrating what is being said by the text. So in this case, bring your eyes to life after hours of screen time. So it's probably going to be 2 clips for this line. So the first couple seconds would be someone on a screen rubbing their eyes. Then the next couple seconds would be using the product and bringing their eyes to life. And we can do that by just having that one line. So for some cases, you'll have one line, but then you'll show 2 clips during the duration of that line. But obviously the best case scenario is that you do 1 line, 1 clip to make it all very seamlessly. But again, you'll notice this a lot with jewelry ads. So they'll have a benefit on screen and then they'll flash multiple clips during the duration of that 1 line. So again, you got to play around, you got to feel. This is where your editing skills really need to show. So let's review what this guy says right here.
This has completely changed my life. I spend a lot of time in front of the computer working, so this really helps me out a lot.
So I would say if I really wanted to shorten this down a bit, because this line ends up going 43 to 50, so that's 7 seconds. There was a bit of filler at the beginning. So let's actually go back and review.
This has completely changed my life.
So we can get rid of this has completely changed my life, because again, with them, does that really matter to me? Does that actually correlate with this right here? No, it's more of just a generic line, and it's up to you if you want to keep it or not. For me, I would actually delete that so we get straight to the point and we can shorten it down a bit. So let's see how this sounds.
I spend a lot of time in front of the computer working, so this really helps me out a lot.
So there we go. I spend a lot of time in front of the computer and this helps me out a lot. That gets right to the point. And now another thing I really want to cover is the audio balance. This clip right here, the audio is much louder than this one right here. And you want to make the audio go exactly the same throughout the video. It shouldn't peak, it shouldn't go up and then down. So it's really important. If you notice, okay, this person right here, their audio is lower, let's increase it. Let's get them decibels. Make sure these wavelengths match each other. So let's see, when we go from clip to clip, is there a decrease or increase in audio? Hopefully not.
You dare scroll away.
I spend a lot of time in front of the computer working, so this really helps me out a lot.
I would say that is a lot more balanced, and we had to raise up the audio, which is perfectly fine. Now, when you're doing the audio balance from your music to the person talking, what I would recommend doing in a lot of instances is you're going to lower the music by around 19 to 25 decibels. And obviously you got to play around, but it has to be background music. That's the whole point of music, to be in the background. It's not the major focus. The major focus is typically going to be the person talking. It's always going to be the person talking. So if you feel like the music and the person talking is competing with each other, that's a problem. You need to lower the music audio, and I would recommend around 19 to 20. So let's listen in again here.
I'm so excited that I found this product. It provides soothing eye
I feel like that sounds pretty good. I would say we could lower it a little bit and see how that sounds. You want to play around? Let's see.
stimulation for tired eyes. This baby has 5 massage modes.
It's not bad. I think either one really does work, and obviously you want to also play around with different music, see what fits the best. But the whole point of all this is to make your ads feel different. And the only way to make your ads feel different is by having different frameworks, is by writing scripts, is by finding great clips, great benefits. And when you find great clips, adjusting your script to those. And when you have a great script, adjusting your clips to fit the script as well. Now, another important part of editing is the cropping, what you leave in versus what you keep out. And I would say with this first clip, with this hook right here, it looks completely natural. It's just a girl zoomed in on her face, but the original clip did not look like this. In fact, what it actually was, if I just zoom out a little bit, was this, my favorite headache hack, and it already had text on it, and it looked really bad with having my text and also hers. So what I decided to do is I zoomed in on the model and then I just centered her like this. And this is something that's really important. You want to eliminate the empty space. Like right here, this guy, he might be super zoomed out and far away. So what you might want to do is just drag him on in, make sure we fill the frame, and then we might have to edit where we put the text, but that's totally fine. Make sure you are filling up the frame. Do not have a lot of empty space, because a lot of times, like this clip right here, you can see all of this top third is completely wasted. So we want to drag this up, make this model fill out the frame just like this. Maybe we would even want to drag it up a little bit more. That way we're filling out the frame, and then we can put our text right around here. And then finally, when you're doing transitions from one clip to another, you want to, again, eliminate the empty space. There should not be any ums or any space after they're done talking, because that's just wasted potential. So as we can see right here, let's see how this ends.
So this really helps me out a lot.
So I cut it immediately after, and I'm starting the next clip. There should not be any 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 seconds. It's got to get right into the next clip. The next clip needs to start. The person needs to be talking. There shouldn't be any pauses. And in fact, I actually left one right here just so you can see what that looks like at the end of this one.
If you get migraines and eye strain, don't you dare scroll away.
There's a bit of a pause at the end there. So what I would do, eliminate that, drag like this.
Dare scroll away.
Super easy. So what I would recommend doing as a frame of reference is usually you want to give it about 0.1 seconds max at the end, because yes, if you do cut as soon as they're done, technically speaking, it does feel a little bit weird. So there's a bit of a pause, about 0.1 seconds. And then I would say my final thing before I show you this ad is when you're doing the text, there's two different styles. And I actually, after reviewing it a little bit, I think doing an uppercase on the first word and then lowercase for the rest actually is the most natural thing. When I did all uppercase, it does feel weird, but make that creative choice of, okay, if I'm doing all lowercase, then stick to lowercase and then the capital of the first word. Or if I'm doing all uppercase for the first letter of each word, stick with that. Don't do a mix of both because it just feels weird.
If you get migraines and eye strain, don't you dare scroll away.
I spend a lot of time in front of the computer working, so this really helps me out a lot.
So right now it's literally massaging my eyes. It has relaxing music playing and ooh, it's like massaging over here in the corners.
I sleep like a baby now. It's amazing. Go get one for yourself. You will not regret it.
And that framework was the typical TikTok hook, 3 benefits, call to action. So again, totally different frameworks so that we can have unique ads to see what sells our product the best.